We are back.
Welcome back to the show.
We're back in part 2. Y'all even got me nicked up to play music right now.
I'm about to say, close this window.
Yeah, right. You see a red dot. Like, yo, that is absolutely crazy, man. That is absolutely crazy. Oh, man. I do gotta go to the bathroom really quick. I've been drinking too much juice and too much water. What can I play that's safe? I'm gonna keep the Spanish theme going. We're back.
Come and move that in my direction. So thankful for that, it's such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, you are my sunrise on the darkest day. Got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna say,
all right, we'll be right back.
Slowly, slowly. You fit me, telling me love how you put
Eric
it
was
on.
popping.
Got the only key, know how to turn it on. The way you never the only one to Baby, take it slow so we can last long.
They cut our first stream. We had to be careful, so we're not going to say the country's name or the man's name, so just be careful.
Ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Sube, sube. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Favorito, baby. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Si te pido un beso, ven dámelo. Yo sé que estás pensándolo. Llevo tiempo intentándolo. Mami, estoy dando y dándolo. Sabe que tu corazón conmigo te hace bam bam. Sabe que esa beba está buscando de mi bam bam. Me prueba de mi boca para ver cómo te sabe. Quiero ver cuánto amor a ti te cabe. Yo no tengo prisa, yo me quiero dar el viaje. Empecemos lento, después salvaje. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Cuando tú me besas con esa destreza, veo que eres malicia con delicadeza. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Y es que esa belleza es un rompecabezas, pero para montarlo aquí tengo la
Welcome back to the stream.
Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito.
We had to start the stream over.
Cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Favorito, baby. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito, this is how we do it down in Puerto Rico. I just wanna hear you screaming, ay bendito. I can go forever cuando esté contigo. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Que enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito.
Si tú me dejas te daré, daré, daré. Te juro que
que no acabaré, paré, paré. Hay muchas, pero yo fui la que te gané. Esta noche de todo se vale. Calipso, me pongo pa' ti, te conquisto. Por ti a los demás dejo en visto. Depende del clima, me visto. Y este sol está brutal. Calipso, me pongo pa' ti, te conquisto. Por ti a los demás dejo en visto. Depende del clima, me visto.
Si tú te quedas conmigo bailando toda la noche, cerquita de mí al ritmo de amor y derroche. Lo que me pidas yo lo haré, donde tú vayas llegaré, toda la noche te daré. Calipso, te daré. Calipso, 1, 2, 3, Calipso.
At this point, I'm just like,
Calipso, 1, 2, 3, Calipso, te daré. 1, 2, 3, Calipso.
I'm Nick. I'm Nick.
Acércate más, y acércate más. Tu cuerpo con el mío es un problema. Tienes algo que no tienen los demás.
Acércate más, acércate más. Tu cuerpo con el mío es un problema. Tienes algo que no tiene la demás.
Calipso, te he visto bailando, partiendo la disco. Conmigo no te pases de listo. Tranquilo, vámonos despacito. Calipso, te he visto bailando, partiendo la disco. Conmigo no te pases de listo.
Te daré. Calipso, 1, 2, 3, Calipso. 1, 2, 3, Calipso. 1, 2, 3, Calipso. Te daré. 1, 2, 3, Calipso. 1, 2, 3, Calipso.
We back, we back. Clifford, what's poppin'?
Yo tengo lo que tú buscas.
They almost tried to take us out, man.
Y sabes lo que te
I had to delete that
gusta.
stream and everything. Like, chop it out.
Prendiendo fuego en el suelo, gritando estrella en el cielo.
We already got a copyright warning, so we don't want to take no chances.
Si tú te quedas conmigo
Miss you too, man. How you been?
toda la noche, cerquita de mí al ritmo de amor y derroche. Lo que me pidas yo lo haré, donde tú vayas llegaré, toda la noche te daré. Calipso, te daré. Calipso, 1, 2, 3, Calipso. 1, 2, 3, Calipso. 1, 2, 3, Calipso. Te daré.
Nah, I'm adding this slap to my playlist. We talking about. That was a nice little slap right there. Yeah, welcome back, welcome back. For the people who are just tuning in, we did have a earlier stream. It happened to just keep going in and out, saying stream unavailable when we start talking about certain topics and stuff like that. But this is why we're creating our Patreon, so we can talk freely and not with chains on our feet. No pun intended. Anyway, so we are going to be talking about the country of BFs, aka Bikini Bottom, and the boss man. So let's get back to where we were. We're going to finish this off, and yeah, let's get to it.
France think they can just, do what they want to do and get their way in Burkina Faso. Captain Ibrahim Traore is saying, no, we've had enough of you. We do not want you any longer in our land. And guess what? They can't come to Burkina Faso to take the gold in Burkina Faso because Captain Ibrahim Traore is indirectly saying, Russia is in charge. You have to go through Russia to get the gold. I actually love this. Why do they want him dead? Again, you might ask. Well, Captain Ibrahim Traore started a movement that Ghana is interested in, movement that some African countries are actually showing interest. We have Ghana, we have Chad, we have Namibia. They're all doing well, expelling France from their nation and doing excellently well. All of them see the good things that Captain Ibrahim Traore is doing, and they want to be like Captain Ibrahim Traore. They see what this young man is doing. So these guys know that if they allow Captain Ibrahim Traore remain on seat, he's going to influence other African countries and other African leaders the way he is doing right now. Because for African countries to Protest because of one man. It speaks a lot. Yes, it does. Why do you think the West is coming for Captain Ibrahim Traore?
Okay.
There are
Going
numerous
down to the
reasons.
streaming
One of it is that
platforms.
they cannot or will not get their hands on Burkina Faso's gold any longer. Why do you think they want Captain Ibrahim Traore out of the way? Any leader that doesn't submit to them, if you don't submit to them, they kick you out or you become subservient. You just, you submit to them, you become a sellout. That's what they want. They plant you there as their agent. So if you don't submit to them, the way Captain Ibrahim Traore is dogged, they want to expel you. Why do you think they want Captain Ibrahim Traore out of the way? Comments below and do not forget to share, like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
All right. Okay, great explanation. That makes a lot of sense. They've always feared powerful black leaders having a voice. I mean, from the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton, to Malcolm X, to Martin Luther King, to Marcus Garvey, whenever there is a black person who has so much power and influence that can influence this many young people, they're terrified. Even if you guys watch this scene, it's one of my favorite scenes in the Malcolm X movie, played by Denzel Washington, when Malcolm X, he just lifted up his finger and pointed, and then his whole team just started marching with him. Mm-hmm. The police looked at each other like, that is too much power for a nigga to have. You know what I mean? Like they're terrified. So when you have this guy who's always strapped, no matter where he go, and also just having the influence that he has, it scares them. So I haven't seen anything about him that has me concerned, because it seems like he gives back to his country, his land, his people. Mm-hmm. They love him, then the continent loves him, but apparently the Western media make it seem as if it's something that is not, and it's all because he kicked the French out and said that this is our gold, and we teamed up with Russia, and if you want to go through us, you have to go through them. Like, I mean, that's what it sounds like. It just sounds like y'all just y'all don't like the deal anymore. Y'all was raping, pillaging, and stealing, and they say y'all can't do it no more, and now y'all mad.
For centuries. Yeah,
so like, yeah, man, the world's waking up, man. People can see the bullshit. So, yeah, man. Well, I said it. All right. We're gonna do one more video because I want to know more about him.
Right.
So this is a video. This is from TRT Africa. Shout out to them. This is who is the president of Bikini Bottom, aka the boss. Mm-hmm. Let's get into it. If you guys are new here, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Let's get to it. Hello? Came in here like T'Challa.
I'm beginning to see a replica or a replication of the late Thomas Sankara in him. Because at that age, Sankara was just within that age bracket, even while he was president in Burkina Faso, that same country.
Obviously, he has something within him that has propelled him at such a young age to the pinnacle of political power in Burkina Faso. And that would mean that he has a drive. Obviously, he has an ambition.
Ibrahim Traore. He is Africa's youngest head of state at 35 years of age.
35?
Ibrahim Traore became the transitional president of Burkina Faso following a military coup in 2022.
Of course, Ibrahim Traore had to step in, and he was very decisive in taking over power. In September, he's going to be 1 year in office, and he has promised that in June 2024, he's going to relinquish power to a democratically elected government.
That gives you an idea, first of all. Yes, that there's some bit of maybe ambition there. But at this personal ambition...
Year is this? Okay, this was last year when this came out.
Or are there ambitions on behalf of Burkina Faso? We can only know with time.
Traore and a group of other soldiers ousted his ex-comrade and interim president, Paul Henry Damimba, who had appointed him the head of an artillery regiment in the city of Kaya. Damimba himself led a coup against a civilian government of Roch-Marc Christian Gabore 8 months earlier. Both coups were hinged on government failure to tackle armed insurgencies in the country.
The issue of coup can be very, very delicate, and people don't understand how dangerous coups can be, especially where you are trying to oust a military government and you are part of that military establishment. The death penalty in most cases is death by firing squad. People say he worked closely with Damiba, his former head of state, and so people could look at it and say, well, that's an act of betrayal.
Traore was born in the town of Bunduku in western Burkina Faso. He studied geology at the University of Ouagadougou before joining the army in 2010. He graduated as an officer from the Georges Namonau Military School. In 2020, he was elevated to the rank of a captain in the army. This was after he took part in the 2018 UN peacekeeping mission in neighboring Mali. He also fought on the front lines against militants in the northern part of the country he now leads.
I think he has an interesting personality for anybody that would hit the limelight. The way he has, is not just any ordinary person.
Burkina Faso has witnessed political instability and armed insurgencies for years, contributing to the insecurity across the Sahel since 2015. The French army operated in the country since 2018 in attempts to tackle armed groups behind the violence. But in February 2023, the French troops were forced to end operations in Burkina Faso on claims that their military presence had not improved the security situation in the country. Traore's takeover in 2022 came during a time when Russia's influence in French-speaking African countries seemed to be growing. He is among junta leaders in West Africa with strong anti-French sentiments.
Le Burkina Faso est fatigué avec les camps de la France. Alors le Burkina Faso veut rompre toute relation qui existe entre ce pays et la France.
Traore has made it clear that Russia would become Burkina Faso's choice as a new partner in the fight against militant groups.
They've accused France many times. This is the general belief that the French, needed to have some crisis in those areas so that they can deploy their troops. And this was what gave rise to the G5 Sahel, and they were all, French countries. You had Chad, you had Niger, you had Burkina Faso, you had Mali, making up the G5.
Just like President Traore, leaders of Mali, Guinea, and most recently Niger have all come to power through military coups.
Some of these countries, these military, juntas will remain in power. But will they be able to do those things that they complained about that led to their taking over, political power in their countries? I don't know, but they have to try to learn to walk the talk so that they can put certain structures on ground that even eventually by the time they leave, the people of those countries can say, well, the military was here, but it was not so bad, even though they eventually left.
And now the military rulers in the Sahel are teaming up. Mali and Burkina Faso are strongly supporting the new junta leadership in Niger with their solidarity delegation visiting the country.
Yeah, you could call them military adventurers, because we now have we have no definite knowledge, about what exactly is motivating them. They could be motivated by selfish interests. They could be motivated by genuine patriotic national interest to protect their patrimony, their common patrimony. They could be motivated by the fact that the political class have failed their people over time, consistently, time and time again. So it is a matter of survival, and that's why they have come together really, to have an alliance that an attack on one is an attack, on the other.
President Traore says his goal going forward is to bring about change in his country. He recently asked Russia for more support to address security and economic issues in Burkina Faso.
I think that if they are to abide by their promises, yes, there is hope that these guys are able to change the situations in their country.
With a wave of military takeovers sweeping through former French colonies in West Africa, the new young leaders like Traore believe they have what it takes to move their countries forward, even though they were not democratically elected. But with a fluid economic and security situation, the future remains uncertain.
Okay. Well, the future is not as uncertain as she said, because we see what's going on right now. Round of applause. Yeah, nothing about this man has me seeing any red flags so far.
I don't either.
I just see.
I'm actually kind of curious to see what the American media is saying.
It's saying, yeah, I'm kind of curious too, because I just see a man who just loves his country and doing
It's
what any
tired
leader
of,
would do.
like, you know, watching them get taken advantage of
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm actually...
and not have anything to show for it
Right.
or much. It's like, how can my country be making this much money for all of these countries, but yet we have nothing to show for it?
Exactly. He's just like, he's tired of it. Let me ask FYI real quick. Let's see if she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, FYI, this is Imani. So we're digging into Burkina Faso and Ibrahim. We want to know, what is it about this country? Why does America and some of the Western countries, what do they fear about this country? Why are they going after the president? Can you let us know in a brief summary what the heck is going on right now?
What the hell?
What the hell?
Absolutely.
The hell, Yante?
Here's a brief overview of the situation in Burkina Faso and its relationship with Western countries. Burkina Faso, located in West Africa, has been dealing with several internal challenges, including political instability and security threats from extremist groups in the Sahel region. President Ibrahim Traore's leadership has drawn both regional and international attention due to his attempts to steer the country through these complicated issues. The West, including countries like the US, has expressed concern about the influence of non-Western powers and extremist groups in the region. Efforts by Burkina Faso to align or shift alliances could affect Western strategic interests, such as counter-terrorism operations and regional stability. Additionally, the evolving political landscape, with frequent coups and changes in leadership, heightens uncertainty about Burkina Faso's future direction, including its economic policies and foreign alliances. Western countries monitor these changes due to their broader implications for regional security and diplomatic relations, often leading to complex geopolitical interactions. If there are specific angles you want to explore further, feel free to ask. Back to you, Imani and Co.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, really quick, what did Langley say from the U.S. That steered up all of the protests supporting the president of Burkina Faso? And can you let us know very briefly, because we are live right now?
I'm sorry, but I don't have access to real-time information or specific ongoing statements from officials like those in Langley, Virginia, which is known for being the headquarters of the CIA.
All right, thank you.
Hey.
Check the screen.
All right. Are we live? Okay. I could probably find him on here. His name is Langley. I'm not talking about Langley, Virginia.
Langley Falls? Where Stan Smith lives?
Langley.
The head of the
Girl,
CIA.
I said
All right, girl, shut the hell up.
You snitching. No,
No, you don't
got
got it.
You don't got it. All right, Langley on... It's U.S. General Langley. Shout out to Steiger. So Steiger said he wants a united Africa and wants us to truly own and run mineral trades, etc., on our terms. From my perspective, that's what I see as well too, and I see nothing wrong with that. Especially if he's proven to be a trustworthy, non-corrupt leader, and his people support him in his country. What is the problem? That's my thing. What is the issue? Because I mean, if this was any other country in Europe or something like that, then would they have a problem with that? I don't think so. So this is coming from AP. It says thousands rally in Burkina Faso in support of military junta following alleged coup attempt. This is in Dakar, Senegal. Earlier this month, General Langley, the head of the U.S. military in Africa, accused Juro during a U.S. Senate committee hearing of using Burkina Faso's gold reserves to benefit the junta at the expense of the population. Okay. What is the junta? And I'm gonna repeat this too because I know Carmen's gonna want to know what this is. Okay, Carmen. So I pretty much found out.
Oh, I'm listening.
Well, I hope I do. I got a bag full of tricks in here. It's a regular iPhone Lightning one or
USB-C.
USB-C.
It's okay. You'll be alright.
I got endless cords in my bag, man. I probably should separate these better. Okay, this is USB-C. I think I actually do have one.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. Just double check it. All right. So this is what we got. So earlier this month, General Michael Langley, the head of the United States military in Africa, accused Thoreau during a U.S. Senate committee hearing of using Burkina Faso's gold reserves to benefit the junta at the expense of the population. You want to see him? Here we go. So, of course, the United States has hired a black man to be the head of the military committee in Africa. So he pretty much...
I know he got a solid paycheck.
It's like, keep them Negroes in line in every country, every corner of the world. So basically, that's what they told him to do. And I know this also sparked the United States collaborating with Ivory Coast to set up shop to keep an eye out on Burkina Faso and the
Captain
president.
Ibrahim Traore has finally responded to U.S. General Langley, but not in the way anyone expected. When a powerful U.S. general stood before the world and accused Captain Traore of corruption, many thought it would end with silence, submission, or fear. Instead, it unleashed something no one was ready for: a fiery, fearless declaration of African dignity, independence, and rebellion. But why did Langley target Traore in the first place? Why are assassination attempts piling up against a leader who refuses to kneel? And why is Burkina Faso's young captain becoming the biggest nightmare for the West since Gaddafi? What really happened, and what comes next, will shock you. In this video, let's know about the whole story. When Captain Ibrahim Traore seized power in Burkina Faso in 2022, most Western media treated it like just another episode in their tired African narrative. Headlines dripped with dismissive phrases: military strongman, another failed state, one more coup in the Sahel. They barely paid attention. In their minds, this was business as usual. Another pawn they could manage, another leader who would soon be at their embassy doors, begging for IMF loans and surrendering national resources in exchange for aid. But Ibrahim Traore was not a pawn. And he certainly wasn't playing by the rules they had spent decades enforcing across Africa. He didn't kneel at the IMF's altar of debt slavery. He didn't sell off Burkina Faso's gold mines to Parisian billionaires. He didn't hold secret meetings in Washington to broker away his country's independence for a few crumbs. Number Traore came to the table with something far more dangerous than weapons or slogans. He came with a vision. A vision where Burkina Faso would own its land, its gold, its resources, and its destiny, without a permission slip from Paris, London, or Washington. A vision where African sovereignty was not a slogan, but a daily lived reality. A vision where a young African soldier could stand tall and say, "We are not your servants anymore." And that was the moment the old empire realized something chilling, that the chains were breaking. And this time, they weren't ready. It wasn't long before the real battle lines were drawn. In early 2025, U.S. General Michael Langley, the top American military commander for Africa, stood before a Senate hearing and launched a grenade disguised as testimony. In front of the entire world, he accused Captain Traoré of hoarding Burkina Faso's gold for himself and his cronies, suggesting corruption, theft, and betrayal of his own people. The message was unmistakable. The West had found its latest villain. But to anyone paying attention to history, the playbook was all too familiar. This was the same strategy used against Muammar Gaddafi before NATO unleashed devastation on Libya. The same accusations were hurled at Thomas Sankara before he was assassinated with external support. The same demonization that justified the murder of Patrice Lumumba. The speed of the backlash in Africa was like a brush fire. Activists, commentators, and even ordinary citizens weren't fooled for a second. Why, they asked, does protecting African resources from foreign plunder suddenly make a leader corrupt? Why is fighting for national sovereignty treated like an act of insurgency? And more disturbingly, why was a black American general, a man whose ancestors bore the lash of slavery, chosen to lead this latest colonial tactic?
Hold up.
Was this deliberate?
You on fire right now.
Designed to neutralize African outrage by putting a black face on white power? The betrayal cut deep, and the storm was just getting started. If Washington thought Ibrahim Traoré would be cowed by accusations and media smears, they gravely miscalculated. In a historic televised address to the Burkinabe people, Traoré didn't mince words. Calm, steady, but with fire crackling just beneath the surface, he exposed the hypocrisy for what it was. He called out the double standards of Western powers, the very nations that had plundered Africa's resources for centuries, now pretending to lecture Africans about corruption and good governance. They see us as subhumans, Traoré said, his voice a mixture of sorrow and defiance. But it's up to us to show them we are not slaves, and we never will be. He laid bare how Western-funded NGOs were weaponized, not for human rights, but for psychological warfare, softening African governments before regime changes were engineered. He recalled the catastrophic destruction of Libya, engineered under similar pretexts, which left the Sahel flooded with weapons, terror, and blood. And most importantly, he reminded his people that sovereignty isn't something politely requested. It's something seized, defended, and lived, even if it costs everything. It wasn't just a counter-argument. It was a revolutionary manifesto. And it electrified not only Burkina Faso, but every corner of an Africa tired of being told who their heroes and villains must be. But words alone were not the only weapons in play. Even as Traoré's speech echoed across Africa, darker forces moved in silence. Whispers began to emerge of repeated assassination attempts, not one, not two, but 18 attempts on Captain Traoré's life since 2022. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black Africa. Let's continue now. The most chilling came recently when two foreign snipers, heavily armed and positioned along the path of the presidential convoy, were caught in an elite Burkinabe security operation. Their mission was clear: eliminate Traoré, decapitate the revolution before it fully ignited across the continent. But Traoré wasn't naive. Unlike leaders who trusted the hollow promises of security partnerships, Traoré built intelligence networks loyal only to Burkina Faso's true interests. These networks tracked threats, set traps, and neutralized dangers long before the assassins could even lift their rifles. They tried to silence the revolution, a top military commander later said with quiet triumph, but we silenced them first. This wasn't just about one leader. This was about Africa's future. A future that had just dodged yet another bullet, but the war was far from over. The failed sniper attack was no random act. It was the symptom of a much deeper fear that is gripping the old powers tightly with each passing day. Because this war is not just about Burkina Faso's gold mines or Traoré's presidency. It's about a much bigger awakening, one they spent generations trying to prevent. Across the Sahel and beyond, from Mali's red plains to Niger's deserts, from Guinea's coasts to the forests of the Central African Republic, the youth are seeing something they haven't seen in decades: an African leader who refuses to bend. To many young Africans, Traoré is not a strong man as the Western media tries to paint him. He is a freedom fighter, a new Sankara who speaks the language of sovereignty, not submission. And to the West, he is something far worse than a rebel. He is living, breathing, walking proof that Africa can survive and thrive without being chained to foreign debt, foreign aid, or foreign masters. If Burkina Faso succeeds, if it stands proud and independent, building schools, hospitals, and industries without the help of the IMF, without surrendering resources to French or American multinationals, then the message to the rest of Africa will be deafening. It can be done. And that is the nightmare Western capitals are scrambling to contain. Traoré isn't just threatening foreign military bases hidden across Africa. He is not just challenging mining contracts signed in dark hotel rooms. He is threatening the entire neo-colonial system, a system carefully designed to keep Africa rich in minerals, but poor in money, rich in culture, but poor in power. That's why they call him corrupt without evidence. That's why the bullets are aimed at him. That's why the air grows thick with the scent of desperation. They don't fear him because he is corrupt. They fear him because he is incorruptible. And in a world built on bribery, puppetry, and betrayal, an incorruptible African leader is the most dangerous revolutionary of all. Now, from the crowded cafes of Bamako to the buzzing markets of Ouagadougou, from WhatsApp groups to TikTok videos, a new conversation is rising, and it is one the West cannot control. Young Africans, armed not with guns, but with memory and truth, are asking the questions that were once forbidden. Why are we the richest continent in resources, but the poorest in life? Why do we have to beg for what is already ours? Why are our heroes assassinated while our puppets are celebrated? The tragedy of Congo still bleeds, a nation with 70% of the world's cobalt, powering the global tech revolution, yet living in crushing poverty. The betrayal of Libya still echoes. A prosperous African nation destroyed because it dared to dream of an African currency and African unity. The plundering of West Africa's gold, cotton, cocoa, and oil still poisons the soil beneath children's feet today. And now, for the first time in generations, the youth are connecting the dots. Traoré's struggle is not just Burkina Faso's struggle. It is Congo's struggle. It is Ghana's unfinished struggle. It is South Africa's new struggle. It is Africa's collective struggle. The world watches nervously. They know what is at stake. Because if Traoré stands, then the idea stands. And ideas, once they catch fire, can burn through empires faster than bullets. Burkina Faso is small on the map, but now its heartbeat echoes across an entire continent. And the question lingers in the heavy African air. Will Burkina Faso fall? Or will it light a fire that no bullet, no lie, and no general can extinguish? Now, as tanks roll and plots are hatched behind closed embassy doors, the true battle is becoming impossible to hide. This is not about good governance. This is not about human rights. This is not about stability. It is about control. It is about wealth, African wealth. It is about power, African power. It is about freedom, African freedom. And the stakes could not be higher. Because if Africa reclaims its wealth, if Africa reclaims its voice, if Africa reclaims its destiny, the global order itself will shift. No longer will African nations be the raw material suppliers of foreign empires. No longer will African leaders be the hand-picked mascots of colonial interests. No longer will the continent of kings, queens, scholars, and warriors be treated like a beggar in its own house. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has already chosen his side. He has chosen the hard road, the dangerous road. The road walked by Lumumba, Sankara, Nkrumah, and Gaddafi. The road where every step forward is a risk, every handshake could be a betrayal, every sunrise could bring another assassination attempt. But it is also the only road that leads to true freedom. And now, Africa must choose as well. Will it stand with Traoré and with itself? Or will it once again stand by silently, watching as history repeats, watching as hope is strangled before it can bloom? Because make no mistake, this is not just Traoré's battle. This is Africa's battle. This is the battle for the soul of the next 100 years. And history is watching. Why do you think African leaders who defend their country's wealth are always labeled corrupt or dangerous by foreign powers? Was it a coincidence that a black American general was used to accuse an African leader, or was it a deliberate strategy?
Not at all. We've seen that
In the comment section below, share your thoughts on whether you stand with Captain Ibrahim Traoré and the dream of a free, self-ruled Africa. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We bring videos on Black Africa, its history, rich arts and culture, and things the world should know about. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.
She absolutely smoked this whole entire thing, man. Like, hold up, man.
Yeah, that was
smoked it. I'm like, oh my God, dog. Like, honestly, this was a perfect video to me.
Exactly.
To end off the Bikini Bottom video, man. Because now I have a much greater understanding. I had like bits and pieces.
Right, but this gave us the clear picture.
Exactly. And honestly, like, this is not a bias. We're Black Americans, but we know right is right and wrong is wrong. We've seen this playbook done to our own in the United States. We see this playbook happen to y'all all over the continent with Gaddafi and many other people. Whenever our people decide to get together and realize who we are and what we have, the world in power gets nervous.
And like the lady in the previous video mentioned, like now that social media is a thing, and that there's so many different networks that you can communicate and exchange information. There's no just pointing the finger, especially without evidence.
Right.
Like you're running an old play.
Yeah, and these are new people. So this is one
New
of the
educated people.
The new educated people. This guy is only 38 years old. Okay, young guy. Now the age average in Africa is like 20 years old, 19 years old, something like that. It's the youngest population on the planet. So you have a bunch of young people all supporting this person. This looks like a very good opportunity for Africa to take back what is theirs, what they deserve. It's their own stuff. And I'm glad that African people are starting to ask the right questions. This is y'all's gold. This is y'all's land. These are y'all's resources. So, yeah, man. Round of applause again for the video. And shout out to Black Africa Diary. Amazing video. We definitely subscribe. I'm curious to see what other videos she did because she just be dropping hot fire. Oh, yeah. Shout out to you. We're going to have to tap into some more, but appreciate you. All right. Well, we learned all about what we needed to learn today.
Despite being
some interruptions.
Bias.
Yeah.
Interruptions, yes.
Yeah.
No freedom of speech, I see.
Right. Okay, so we can do a few more. All right. Shout out to the brother Afro Think Tank. I'm curious to hear what another African American thinks of the situation. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a lot of the same sentiments as us, but we'll see. All right, let's get into it. Shout out to Afro Think Tank once again. If you guys are new here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Let's get into it.
What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. As an African American, if you call yourself a Pan-African, if you are pro-Black, if you love your people, then we need to shout to the mountaintops that we are with Ibrahim Traore. If you're an African American, right, and you always gloat about how African Americans are so influential, and you brag about how people listen to us and this and that. Well, use all of that and tell the world that we African Americans stand by Ibrahim Traore. We African Americans need to use the power of our influence to let white America and white Europe know that we are paying attention to them as they try once again to eliminate one of our leaders who dare to take care of his people and disconnect himself from the parasitic structure of white supremacy. We African Americans need to let them know that we're watching.
Live?
You see, white Americans like to conduct their foreign policy against Black Americans without Black Americans knowing about it. It's strategic. That's why they don't talk about the conflicts in Congo, Sudan, and various other places in Africa like they talk about Europe. Like every day, we get an update of what's happening in Europe. Oh, somebody got a splinter in Europe. We got to deal with that, right? Because white America focus is on Europe and the connection between them and Europe, even though patriotic-wise, they don't like Europeans, they see themselves differently, but for white supremacy, they try to hold on to it, right? And of course, Arabs, they don't care nothing about them. They all unite against destroying the Arabs, right? So they can take their stuff, right? The same way they united to destroy Africans and take all of our stuff. And the same way they continue, without challenge, to destroy Central and South America, well, right? Completely and totally, right? Government systems and all, without being challenged by anybody who could do anything about it, right? But as African Americans have to use our power of persuasion, our power of, letting them know. Because see, white people get scared when they find out that we paying attention. They want us to pay attention to stupid stuff. They want us to pay attention to stay entertained and stay distracted, while white people play the game of real life, right? While living in their fantasy. They justify real life through their fantasy, but they do things in real life that affect us. We need to let them know that we African Americans are watching you white people do what you white people do all the time, which is go into different countries, right? And try to dictate your policy onto them and how you were willing to do it by any means necessary. How many leaders have how many African leaders have France deleted because that leader dared to improve their country? Think about the simplicity of this, right? When an African country tries to mind their own business and tries to build and tries to create opportunity for its people, white governments who call themselves first world nations sabotage it and try to kill the leader. The same way in the black community, when black people go to mind their business to uplift themselves economically and socially within this country, white people come along and they see it, get jealous, and destroy it. They do the same shit to African nations as they do to the African American nation within this nation. So every African American who has the nerve to pick up a microphone and run their mouth in front of a camera needs to be telling the American government that we will not tolerate or participate in the destruction of the African nation. We will sabotage. If we're in your military, we will sabotage it. If we're in your companies, we will sabotage it. If we're in those government office buildings where y'all making those decisions, we will sabotage the administration. We will sabotage from every angle, everything that you got, that you try to do towards Africa to disenfranchise it. We will sabotage it. We need to tell these white people globally, you francophone white folks, black folks, you black people in France need to let the francophone government know you will sabotage their operations. You will not be loyal to the white institution when it comes to time to be white institution versus your black homeland and your people. Tell them that you take pride and you care about your nationality and your race over this false fictitious lines white people draw and say you're a part of while not truly allowing you to be a part of it. We have to be loud. This is where we use that power that we so impressed with and say, hey, Ibrahim Traoré, that's my brother. Don't fuck with him. You fuck with him, you fuck with me. You fuck with one African leader fighting for Pan-Africanism, you fuck with all of us. That's how we need to carry it.
Right.
We need to carry it just like that. When you're messing with and you're trying to assassinate Ibrahim Traoré, to me, you're trying to assassinate Malcolm X again. You're trying to assassinate Dr. Martin Luther King again. You're trying to assassinate Kennedy again. That's what you're trying to do. And we see you do it. While you pretend like you're not trying to do it. While you think African Americans in the global African body are not paying attention, while you sitting there sending your little spies, looking for your little coons within the administration of Ibrahim Traoré, who would take that American dollar, the pursuit of greed is the evilness, who would take that American dollar over patriotism towards his own fellow people. You're looking for that weakest link. The same way y'all got these weak link social media personalities pretending to be Christian conservative, white, black Christian conservatives when when y'all don't see them as such.
Oh man.
The same way you get these safe Negroes to go push your domestic policy all around America, you try to do the same thing in Africa. You're going to look for that one coon who will sell out. And there's always somewhere some coon willing to sell out. There's always a weaker link. And we always got to look for that weaker link because the white person is attracted to that weaker link like a bee is attracted to honey. Okay? So let these people know we are on Ibrahim Traoré's side. Speak it to the mountaintop whenever you got the time. Whenever your camera's on, say it. Whenever you see a white, old, crusty, chitlin chased politician, you let him know it. You let all your black politicians that the black body of America will not tolerate another government-sponsored assassination of any of our leaders, period. Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Enough is enough. If y'all let anything happen to this great African president, I guarantee y'all will feel our energy all around this world. And I'm speaking from the U.S. Y'all need to worry about America because America ain't never been great to my people. Why y'all over there messing with Africa when we got problems right here at home? Why y'all trying to do him like Gaddafi? Y'all hate when my people stand up for their people and they actually support their people. Are y'all mad because he's giving his citizens free health care, free education, when y'all would never do that in America?
Uh-oh.
I cannot stand these colonizers, man. Real talk. I love a strong African leader. Somebody that actually stand with his people or go to war with them, dress like them, work out with them. Look at our president. Look what he built like. Look what his mindset is. That's why they can't even control America. And y'all get mad every time one of my people do something great. If y'all let anything happen to this man, I guarantee you, y'all gonna feel an energy and a rage like never before. Real talk, man. No, what's up with these Uncle Tom generals, 4-star generals, whatever you want to be? Because I guarantee you, that general wouldn't want to look at me one-on-one in the ring. Real talk, man. If anybody, man, repost this until the whole world know about it. So if anything happened to them, we can go ahead and go up in an uproar and give these people what they really want. The time is coming, and Babylon will fall.
Burkina Faso's revolutionary leader, Ibrahim Traoré, the youngest leader of any country in Africa, was just offered by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia to allow Saudi Arabia to build 200 new mosques in Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traoré is a Muslim man, but he responded to Mohammed bin Salman with a different suggestion. He said, I greatly appreciate your offer, but my people can pray anywhere. If the people of Gaza can continue to pray, why do my people need 200 new mosques right now? Maybe one day that would be great, but right now, the people of Burkina Burkina Faso need new hospitals, new schools, new jobs to simply stay alive amid the threats of Western aggression. This exceptional leadership from Ibrahim Traore exemplifies why the West has tried to unalive him at least 16 times now over the past 2 years. The West fears a truly sovereign and brilliant mind and a young leader like Ibrahim Traore who has the capacity to take Africa into a sovereign and free future.
I'm right there with you. We've never, or at least I've never seen a leader like this. No other president has made me feel like their army is worth fighting in. Protecting this nation, protecting this leader is worth fighting in. Investing in this nation, I would just send money if I know it's helping making his vision come to fruition. I believe in everything this guy does, and I've yet to see another leader like this. So I want to see this through. He invited African Americans, just African people of the West, Jamaican people, Haitian people. If you're black, born outside of Africa, you are welcome. Oh my God, this guy's doing all the things. Everything makes sense. Everything isn't to line his pockets. It's to make this nation healthier and stronger.
But let me tell you what the United States said.
It's unfortunate that that's revolutionary, but it's revolutionary nonetheless. I'm with it.
Very interesting, right? As we learned that Burkina Faso is welcoming to all black people in the diaspora. But when you go to the United States State Department, travel, let's see what it says. Burkina Faso, a matter of fact, I'm going to let you guys see it straight from the site.
That's for white people.
Bruh. This is from the state.
April 16th.
Very recent, right? Mm-hmm. This is, I think, around the time that General Langley said what he said. So it says that Burkina Faso has a level 4 do not travel advisory due to terrorism, crime, and kidnapping. Terrorism attacks may happen anywhere. Hotels, restaurants, police stations, blah, 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 blah. It's currently in a state of emergency.
Emergency for who?
Right. Travel to high-risk areas. So basically what the United States is saying is don't go. Pretty much.
Don't bring no money to that country.
Yeah. So I find that very very interesting. But I'll say it. Fuck it. This might go on Patreon. I'm rocking with you, bro.
For sure.
I'm definitely rocking with you. Top Hill got you, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest. He actually made a really good point. When you look at a leader, you should want to stand behind that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, when you look at what a leader should look like, should it look like a frail or, you know, somebody who doesn't look like he can defend himself? You know what I mean? Can you squabble up for real? You know what I mean? Like, this person look like he ready for anything and everything. So, and he's offering free healthcare, free education, and literally just using his own resources from his own country. He's partnering with other neighboring countries.
Exactly.
Like this, he's not
and
like.
Then let's not forget this man is educated.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. He's educated as well too. So he has stated he wants a united Africa, which is another terrifying thing. This is exactly what Gaddafi said. He wants a united Africa, same currency, free trade between the countries. Like, it doesn't. And we talked about this before. It does not make any freaking sense for me as an American with an American passport. I can travel to more African countries than Africans. You could be born in Nigeria and be denied entry into certain African countries, even though you're on the same continent. When it comes to trading, like you might want to get cocoa from Ghana, and you might want to get, you know, I don't know, eggs or milk from Zimbabwe. There's a conflict somewhere. You know what I mean? Because you got to send it over to Europe, have them approve it, make sure the French say it's okay, or the Vatican, or whoever the hell, to say it's okay for you to trade when you guys are right there. So, yeah, man, like, I see tremendous opportunity and growth, and I'm very optimistic about Africa and its future. And I wish nothing but more success, more growth, more freedom, more peace coming out of the motherland, out of the continent, man. I love Africa. I can't wait to come back. And yeah, man. So, Carmen, got anything else for them? Or
Top Hill supports you.
Facts. Round of applause once again. All right. Okay. Shout out to Walter Maya. This is a short one, real quick.
Okay.
Walter Maya.
Get the. Go down.
Our guy Walter Maya. Shout out to Ghana. He has entered the Bikini Bottom, and so let's see what he's talking about because he's there. He was there recently, so let's see.
Happening in Burkina Faso is a revolution that I believe that the entire continent of Africa can emulate. I mean, when you have a leader that really cares about his people, he makes sure that he delivers. Guess what? Will you believe if I tell you that the entire country of Burkina Faso could only boast of 3,000 kilometers paved road from independence till now? Will you believe me? Will you believe me? I mean, a country called Botswana could boast of 3,000 kilometers when the British left them. But the French left, a government came to power. See, that's the construction going on.
I love the red.
A government came to power for over 27 years. How old is this country?
The country, the independence since 1960.
1960,
yeah.
And the country could only boast of 3,000 kilometers.
Kilometers, I'm telling you.
This is Mars.
Is it true?
Yeah, it's trying to colonize.
As Wodimai was saying, since the independence up to today, we had just 3,000 something paved roads. But now, with the coming of Traoré, they are planning to pave 5,000 kilometers per year. This is insane. This is unbelievable.
How are they achieving that? Yeah, they bought all the equipment because the government doesn't want anymore to let any
nice
company
Caterpillar right
be in
there.
charge of this. So they bought all the equipment to do it by itself. The government is in charge of building all those roads that you can see. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. As you guys, maybe some of you saw the equipment coming from Ghana.
Okay.
People made a lot of videos about it. So the equipment are here. The government is taking care of constructing or building the roads because sometimes they give it to private companies and they take forever to finish some roads. So the government is now taking care of building the roads with their own equipment and everything. So that's what's happening.
And one of the most exciting thing about this whole road construction in Burkina Faso, the fact that the government bought all the equipment, trained the youth to operate this equipment. So literally, it's the people of Burkina Faso building the country for the people of this beautiful country.
The country is under construction.
Burkina Faso indeed is under construction because I am here and I'm seeing roads being constructed. I am here and I'm seeing factories being built. I am here and I'm seeing entrepreneurs coming out saying that this is their first time, feeling so proud about their country to do business in their country. This is a revolution, and I believe that a revolution like this needs to be supported. My name is Walter Maya, an African content creator on a journey to celebrate African excellence. I'll see you all in the next one.
Shout out to Walter Maya. Putting his feet to the ground, letting us see in real time what's actually going on out there. This is important, man.
And
this
it clearly doesn't look unsafe.
It doesn't. Yeah, I don't see. Man, the tactics that they use to keep us away from our land, bro. And us being Black Americans, majority of our ancestors reach back to this part of the continent. Mm-hmm. Burkina Faso, Ghana, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau. This is our home that they took us from. Mm-hmm. And it's good to see somebody doing something about it, taking it into their own hands. The government is very invested in helping the people, building more roads, building infrastructure. Mm-hmm. So very, very, very inspiring, man. What's up, Zeke? We from the DMV, man. We are from the DMV, not the Department of Motor Vehicles. All right. Let's see. We do one more. Okay. All right. So I'm thinking between these two. I like Carmen can always pick the last one. You know what I mean? To help us send this out. We got how Africans actually view African Americans, or we got what can $20 get you in Nairobi, Kenya? Okay, let's get it. All right. Okay. I'm hoping not to be triggered here. You know, ignorance is bliss. Anyway, okay. I'm being optimistic. I think we're gonna hear some positive things. I don't know. What do you think, Karen? What do you think? Well, matter of fact, before we get into it, what do you think of Africans, and what do you think Africans think of African Americans?
I feel like it's gonna be like 60-40 of 60-40 of like more so 60% offensive, 40% like supportive and optimistic.
Okay.
As far as me personally, I think it really just depends. But for the most part, like, you know, I don't think any particular thing about anyone from the continent.
Yeah.
However, there has been some triggering videos in the past, especially with ladies with sneakers on.
Yes.
And dresses that don't match.
I remember that video. That was a Rwanda jump. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Steiger. He said, Carmen always picks the triggering videos. I think she picked the same topic last time. No, I think it was a different one last time. I will say this. I think, you know, it's very hard to judge all Africans. It's 54 different countries, different languages, different dialects, different backgrounds. Like, so if I go to Kenya, I know how Kenyans feel about African Americans, and we love y'all. And you guys love us. Mutual. I've been to Ghana, same exact thing. I've been to Tanzania. You know, I hear good things about South Africa. You know, of course, I mean, it's going to be easier because these are English-speaking African countries, so the communication is easier. I'm not too sure. I haven't been to an African country that speaks French or Portuguese or Spanish or, you know, another language, or any of the northern ones like Egypt or Morocco. So I'm not sure. I can't put them all in one box, but I would say 70% of sub-Saharan Africans are going to like us and understand us, and 30% are going to feel kind of like judged because of what they heard we said about them. Oh. So that's my take. But we'll see. Let's go ahead and get to it. If you guys are new here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Let's get into it.
You're going to have people that say, oh, Africans don't see African Americans as Africans. They see us as foreigners. I've been to the African continent.
No, we're not ending yet.
On the African continent. I studied at the University of Johannesburg for an exchange program. One of the questions I was constantly asked was, where are you from? I'd say the United States. Okay. They would ask me, where are you really from? They're implying an African country. Right. Because as a black American, when you are on the African continent, Africans don't know you're from the States until you start speaking.
Right.
They assume you're just another African. Yep. So I would have to say a region in Africa because I'm not sure, because of the slave trade. But because we as African Americans, as well as Afro-Caribbeans and those in the diaspora, are black,
hello?
We blend in.
And all right, so that's a very common thing. And for all of our African audience, this is very real. Think about it. We were stolen from Africa. They took our last
500
name.
years ago.
500 years ago. They took our last name. They took our culture. They took our heritage. They gave us white Jesus. And then, sorry. I'm going to trigger some Christians, my bad.
I mean,
but it's the truth.
The Pope just passed.
No, I guess. So anyway, so we have lost our history. And there's no way for us to track it back. We can't go back and figure out who or where we came from.
Are there
because
African Catholics? I'm sorry, I was just.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
absolutely. I never really hear about them.
Yeah. I think in Ivory Coast has that giant. Isn't that like a Catholic church? The one that we saw.
I thought. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But yeah, our heritage was stolen. They mixed us. They purposely put us with other tribes that were beefing. They bred us. They did so many things so we couldn't trace back our lineage. So all we can do is take a DNA test and
hope
figure out
to see what region.
Right, and hope that they're not using our DNA for other purposes. And we got to pay for it. We got to pay to figure out who we are.
Yeah.
Think about that. You know what I mean? Where no other people in America have to do that. So it's very kind of triggering for us. So, and sometimes for African Americans, it's just hard because we don't have the answer. So.
What this beautiful brother is saying right now is facts. To us, when we see you, you are just another African. If you are in Nigeria and we see you, to us, you are just another Nigerian going about your business, going about your day. And if you're in Ghana, it's the exact same thing. They're just going to think you are just another Ghanaian that's going about your day. I am presently in Kenya, and Kenyans don't even know I am not Kenyan until I open my mouth and my Nigerian accent comes out and they're like, oh, you're Nigerian. They think I'm one of them. So because you look like us and we look like you would blend in pata pata. Just take a look at this beautiful brother on the screen. He just told us he's an African-American man, but brother can pass for an Igbo man.
This is why I don't like this whole African versus African Americans versus Afro-Caribbean. Y'all acting like if we dropped y'all in Nigeria, if we dropped y'all in Haiti, if we dropped y'all in the Bahamas, that they finna know you from the States. Yeah, when you start talking, they're gonna know, okay, he has an accent, where is he from? But until that point is asked, you just another African person walking around in the society. Just like you got this debate between African American culture, Afro-Caribbean culture, and African. Like we don't exchange from one another. Like you a black American ain't African, but you eating yams and okra all the time. You an African who said we ain't got no connection with African Americans, but you listening to hip hop and Afrobeat. You say you ain't Afro-Caribbean, but some of your ancestors come from the Barbados and Haiti, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. Well, Jabari, we weren't born there. We aren't from there. They're going to know we're different. Yeah, just like a black person from Mississippi is different from a black person in Ohio. A black person from the Bronx is different from a black person who's from LA. A black person from Enugu is different from a black person in Kano.
Guys, I am so sorry, but I had to chime in right here, guys. I had to, because the Enugu and Kano reference is so random. I never would have thought, guys. This right here just shows that brother knows a good bunch about the country Nigeria, okay? Because non-Nigerians don't go about mentioning Enugu and Kano in conversations. Like, no. You would hear Lagos, you would hear Abuja, you probably would even hear Port Harcourt. But Kano, Enugu,
A black person from Johannesburg is different from a black person from Cape Town.
Quite frankly, I love how he's going about addressing this particular rhetoric of how we are not the same, right? Using different places and how people from those places could differ in one way or the other from people who are from another place, right? So I am from the southern part of Nigeria, and honestly, I am not exactly like the people who are from the northern part of Nigeria, right? We are all Nigerians, we're all African, but we have, some differences. But the problem is when we pick on those differences and we use them to tear ourselves apart. Like I have said in different videos before, I would appreciate if we see these differences as spices, because we as a people, we are like spices, and there is so many things we have to offer, things that comes with our differences. You know how when you are making a meal, you have to spice the meal so the meal comes out.
Spices make something great.
Facts. Shit, DC ain't the same as Baltimore. We 30 minutes away. We talk completely different.
Traffic crazy.
Traffic is wild.
Maybe like an hour.
On the parkway,
30
I be
maybe.
flying.
It'd be different. No, I don't know how you get through that traffic. Coming up versus coming down is a little bit different.
But leaving here, I'm good. Like I can get home, like not to close the movie off. I can get home in like 50 minutes an hour.
I believe that because at the time of night.
Yeah. But yeah.
Because I don't even take BWI no more. I take 301 all the way up.
I actually at night okay. So during traffic times I come down 301. During no traffic times, I actually take the Beltway.
Well, yeah, because ain't nobody on it.
Exactly, yeah.
And God forbid it's an accident, though. You're fucked.
Parkway, yeah.
You're fucked.
I know, that's why I even...
They need to extend it. Like, open it up. Add 2 more lanes, please. Yeah. A shoulder, something.
Man. That's why I be taking 95, too, sometimes. I'm like, I'll take the extra 5 minutes just in case.
Okay.
But yeah. This is just to explain, like, yes, black people are different just by geographically where we're born at, even in the United States, like he mentioned. But when I went to Africa, and I went to Ghana, I went to Kenya, I was like, these people look like my brother, cousin, you know what I mean, auntie, uncles. Like, you can clearly say that we're the same people. We come from the same place. We have the same DNA. Like, our blackness is definitely connects us, and there's no way around it. So.
Tasty. So you bring different spices, all of them having different flavors, different feels, and different tastes, and then you put them all together, and that's how you come up with this beautiful, tasty meal that blows taste buds away. The point is, yes, as a people, we have our differences, but that's not a problem at all. It's actually beautiful that we are different. So rather than focusing on the little differences that we have here and there, we could use our differences to our collective advantage. So just like spices, if we choose to come together, we could make such a beautiful and tasty delicacy. It's up to us.
Quit the unnecessary divisions. Africans see African Americans as well as other members of the diaspora as Africans. That don't mean it's kumbaya. It means we are part of the African family, whether or not you live on the continent or abroad. I will go even further and say African American, along with Afro-Caribbean and Afro-Latino culture, all are part of African culture. They are subsets unique to their own circumstances. And y'all can rep your culture, because that's what makes African culture special.
Guys, what this gentleman is saying is what I keep saying. He's an African American, and he's saying when you come to the motherland of Africa, we see you as Africans. Of course, yes, if you open your mouth, we'll know that you have, okay, a British accent, you're from Britain, or you have an American accent, you're from America, but then we still know that you're African. If you don't open your mouth in the continent, we see you like any other person on the continent of Africa. And I just want to let you know, guys, like most of our parents, our grandparents actually, when you come and meet them, they will literally start crying because they'll be shocked. They know that you're their children. They know you're their descendants. They just can't access you. They can't travel to access you. And also, African people in general, the majority were denied their true history. We mostly study more about Europeans or colonizers than our own history. So we only study
Big problem, but that's true.
ourselves. So when I come here and I'm like, we both need healing as Africans and as African descendants. And I don't want everybody to think I only want to talk about African Americans. No, I'm talking about every African descendant in Europe, in Asia, in North America, in South America, everywhere. That's what I'm talking about in the Middle East, you know. So don't feel offended when we come here and we say we need to connect with the motherland. We just need you guys to come and see the home, your home. And I
love home, man. Take me back home, please.
Talk about our history, but I still want us to talk about our future, our development, our unity, our love. I want us to talk about things that are going to develop us too, and not just focus on the history of ourselves, of our ancestors. Let's also break the chains of pain and trauma, and start talking about empowerment of us as Black people. I'm so glad that we're having these conversations because both of us, Africans and African descendants, need healing. We need to heal. We need to love each other. We need to connect. We need to intermarry. We need to connect to the motherland. We need to invest in the motherland because remember, when Africa thrives, every Black person thrives. Africa is the only continent that has majority of Black people. So wherever you are, you're seen as an African. So let's rise up, unite. And I love you guys. Happy New Year.
I'm not going to tell people how they should identify or if they should claim their Africanness. Like,
hold on, I'm gonna give her a round of applause because she actually. So good too. It's like
too much pro-Black.
Right, too right. It's like time to wrap up. Y'all talking about that uniting shit again. Hello? Oh, not me. Shit, they is watching.
Boy's balling.
Yeah, like it ain't slick outside. Like, don't slip and fall now. All right, I'll be fresh as hell when the Fed's watching. All right, let's get back to it.
Like, honestly, you are still a brother and a sister. But if you're a Black person and you do not consider yourself to be African, trust me, you are still a brother. It doesn't matter to me. I'm saying this because I do not want you to think that the next clip that's going to come on is me forcing an identity on you. But I do want to share the clip anyways.
I am not African American. I am a Black American.
All right, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. That was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. This nigga triggered me.
I've heard people in real time say that.
Yeah,
like,
I have too. This is unfortunately okay.
You've been successfully brainwashed.
You have been completely brainwashed, completely ignorant, and they have beat. Okay, I'll give a little bit of sympathy. For 500 years, they have tried to remove the African out of us. They tried to make us hate you guys, look at you guys in a different way in light, not see any value. And they also wanted us to glorify whiteness as well, too, which is why so many... Okay. I'm going to do it. So when Gucci or Prada or any of these products come out and stuff like that, you know, whenever they're releasing something, you know it's always black people that's, like, in front of the lines in the stores, like, trying to get some of these stuff. Like, all the YNs trying to get in there and get all this stuff to prove that they have money, that they can afford this stuff and it's wealth. When all you're doing is just making all these Italian families, these French families, you're making them rich. You're putting more money in their pockets. Mm-hmm. They love it when we do that because we love white validity so much. Their stamp of approval so much. You know what I mean? And to me, I just can't unsee it anymore. But when I hear brothers talk like this and say, I'm not African American, I'm Black American, bro, like... Just go back further. How did you get here? It's literally that fucking simple. How did you get here? And yes, I do know there are some, not all, Black Americans who are indigenous to the Americas. But even them, not even 100%, because they were still mating with Africans during slavery. So yeah, you might have some indigenous heritage, and there's nothing wrong with embracing that. But you can't deny. I've had people deny that the slave trade even existed. Like the ships never came here. They said, yeah, that's impossible. How can they bring millions of African slaves over? That doesn't make any sense. I've been to Ghana. I've seen the ships. I've seen the castles. I saw the blood. Like you can't deny it. The Middle Passage, the Atlantic Oceans, you realize like one of the biggest like shark trails in the Atlantic Ocean follows the Middle Passage because so many African people jumped off the ships. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't run from the truth and the history, no matter how much they try to cover it up with lies and stuff like that. Bro, like, you should want to embrace being African because you can't even, like, how can you love yourself without, like, truly knowing yourself? Mm-hmm. Like, I know that they told us that our history started with slavery. Newsflash, it didn't. Okay, we came from great people, greatness. Egypt is a part of Africa, or Kemet, as I should say it. The Mali Empire, the Zulus. Like, there's so many amazing stories and stuff like that, but they hid it from us. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, and I'm happy and I'm proud that African people are coming up, and I just think it's important that us as Africans in the diaspora should. Highlight, enlighten them, and we should work together to build each other up. Not try to deny our own fucking family. Like it's fucking stupid. But I digress.
Ilo Zumba. Ilo Zumba. Ilo Zumba. How many times did I call you? 3 times. Ilo Zumba, my brother. Listen to me very well. A Bengal tiger born in China is a Bengal tiger. Born in India, it's a Bengal tiger. In Russia, it's a Bengal tiger. In North America, it's a Bengal tiger. In Africa, it's a Bengal tiger. You are a Bengal tiger, my brother. But now, because you are born in North America, you come here and you say, me, I'm not a Bengal tiger. Me, I'm a Jaguar. Okay, Mr. Jaguar, let me address you. Here you are, disproving our idiom in Africa where we say gray hair is a sign of...
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even know he said tiger. It took me a minute to figure out what he was actually saying, his accent.
Yeah, Bengal tiger.
Wisdom. Maybe you dyed your hair now, Ilo Zumba, but you are embarrassing us. So why are you saying this thing before the people? At least if you're doing this in the barbecue, you know, with Daniel,
I felt embarrassed
we
too.
have a problem. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Listen, my brother, you cannot escape being a Bengal tiger because this world will remind you of being a Bengal tiger.
Absolutely.
I've had some brothers and sisters as well in the diaspora, like in the United Kingdom, because now they drink high tea and eat sandwiches with the crust cut off, saying, me, I'm a British citizen, I'm not an African. Ikechuku, we know you. I will call your name on the London Bridge. We know you now. Why are you denying us? Because now we're sitting here drinking curry. Now you are eating, what is that thing, fish and chips in the UK. Now you think you're better than us. Don't do these things, guys, now. You are embarrassing us. We are trying to create a seamless way that we as Africans, wherever we are brothers. But you keep denying us. Aye, man, guys, no, don't do this. You are an African. You are a Bengal tiger wherever you go. Have a lovely day, my brother.
The point is, we as Africans, dear brothers and sisters in the diaspora, we claim you and we love you. Whether or not
Likewise.
you identify as African, it doesn't matter. In our eyes, we see you as African. It's just natural that we see you that way. Do not feel like we're trying to force an identity on you. It's just how if I think of you, I think of an African too. I'm not going to say it because I do not want you to feel like I'm forcing an identity on you, but in my mind, I feel that way, you get. And I respect how you identify, but this is how we feel deep down, really. This is how we feel.
You know, I have said it before, but I'm going to say it again. I absolutely love how we as a people, both here on the continent and in the diaspora, are using social media to bridge the gap, right? How we're using social media to connect with one another, share stories, experiences, and have conversations that's bringing us together as a family is absolutely beautiful, and I'm here for it. There is power in social media, and honestly, I am so happy watching the youths harnessing the power in media and using it in a very positive way, in a very positive light. We are changing the narrative. You know, the ball is already rolling, and this ball is rolling in our favor, and this ball cannot be stopped. It would only get better from here, surely. So I came by this conversation on TikTok, and I went to join in on the conversation as well as sharing this conversation with you guys as well. So let me know down below in the comment section what you think. And yeah, this is my very first video for the year 2023. I want to say a very big happy new year to each and every one of you. I'm very excited for this year. I wish you guys all the best this year 2023. May all your wishes and more come true. From your African sister, peace, love, and light. Please be safe out there and stay blessed. Do have a very lovely weekend ahead, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Dope video, man.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, me
I
too.
didn't hear anything negative. It's definitely not what I was expecting, and that video was like, you know, very uplifting, very conversations that are needed to be had.
Facts.
And it definitely highlights the things that we don't get to see over
right.
here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely a much needed conversation between the diaspora and people on the African continent. So love to see it, love to hear it. We need more of it. Come to Top Hill for some, you know what I mean? But yeah, man. All right. I'm tired. It's time to go. But I appreciate you guys tuning into another one, man. Make sure you guys follow us everywhere, man. Every social media platform. We'll catch you guys next week. We out. Peace. I'm trying to think. Which one is this one? No, hold on. Yeah. Give me that El Negrito. Yeah, lo siento. Por favor. ¿Por qué? Caliente. We everywhere, yeah.
Estoy llamando, mi amor. Ya lo he pensado. Mejor fueron los tragos, oh no, que te causaron dolor. Baila conmigo, baila conmigo. Tienes que entender, no lo vuelvo a hacer, no te quiero perder.
baila conmigo, baila conmigo, baila conmigo, baila conmigo. Oh, 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 Te tengo frente a frente, amor, frente, amor, Yo te tengo frente a frente, amor, frente, amor, Baila conmigo.